Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel School Study. In this video, we are going to solve question number 4 of page number 100 from S. Chand Biology book. The name of the lesson is The Fundamental Unit of Life, Cell. So question number first is, write down the 3 basic characteristics of a cell. The answer is, the 3 basic characteristics of the cell are: cells are considered as the building blocks of the body. Second one is, it controls the functions of our body and are also called functional unit of life. Third one is, cells have nucleus which contain genetic material called DNA, which helps in transmitting characters from parents to offspring. So these are some basic characteristics of the cell. Next question is, what do you mean by unicellular and multicellular? Okay. So we will write it as unicellular and multicellular are as follows. So first is unicellular. Unicellular are the organisms that are made up of only one cell. For example, amoeba and yeast. Whereas multicellular are the organisms that are made up of multiple number of cells. For example, cat, dog and humans. Question number 3 is, what is division of liver? Explain it in context of multicellular organisms. And the answer is, division of liver describes specialized functions of cell organelles which come together to ensure that cell is capable of surviving as well as performing its role in the body. In multicellular organisms, different parts perform different functions. For example, humans have heart to pump blood, stomach to digest food, and so on. Heart has cardiac muscle cells which contract rapidly and tirelessly so that the heart can pump blood. Stomach has mucous cells, zymogen cells, parental cells to digest food, and so on. Question number 4 is, why does viruses form an exception to cell theory? The viruses are often said to be an exception to cell theory because the viruses doesn't have the basic body functions resembling the cell. They display living characters only when they are taking over mechanism of any other living organisms. Therefore, they are not regarded as cell. The question number 5 is, name the largest plant cell. The answer is, the largest plant cell is Acetabularia. 6th number question is, define the following terms: cell, prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, and organelle. So let's start it. First is cell. So cells are the microscopic units which are the basic structural and functional unit of life of living organisms. Second is prokaryotic cell. The cells that do not have any defined nucleus and nuclear material is not surrounded by nuclear membrane are called prokaryotic cells. For example, bacteria and blue-green alga. Third is eukaryotic cell. The cells that have defined nucleus and nuclear material is surrounded by nuclear membrane are called eukaryotic cells. And the fourth one is organelle. Organelle is a tiny cellular structure that performs specific functions within cell are called organelles. For example, mitochondria, vacuole, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. Question number 7 is briefly describe the structure and functions of cell wall. So first see what is the cell wall. The cell wall is the outermost covering of the plant cell. It is non-living and rigid and is made up of cellulose, which is secreted by plant cell itself. Thus, the plant cell consists of tiny cellulose fibers called microfibrils, glued together by a mixture of polysaccharide. Each microfibril is made up of thousands of cellulose molecules bound together by pectin and hemicellulose. So this is the image of a cell wall. The functions of the cell wall are: it provides strength to cell and protect the cell from outer environment. And the second is, it is freely permeable to water and substances in solution. Question number 8 is, describe the structure and functions of nucleus. The answer is, the nucleus is a large, centrally located cellular component. It is bounded by two nuclear membranes, both forming nuclear envelope. The nuclear envelope separates nucleus from cytoplasm. It consists of nuclear pores and liquidy substance called nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm contains nucleolus and chromatin material. The nucleolus is a densely stained spherical structure present inside the nucleus. It is known as the factory of ribosomes, which help in protein synthesis. The chromatin material is a thin thread-like structure present inside the nucleus which contain genetic material called DNA, which helps in transmitting characters from parents to offspring. Next is the functions of the nucleus. So, the functions of the nucleus are: nucleus controls all metabolic activities of the cell. It regulates the cell cycle. It helps in transmitting characters from parents to offspring. So, these are the functions of the nucleus. Question number 9 is, what are diploid and haploid number of cells? The answer is diploid. The paired condition of chromosomes is called diploid. For example, in humans, there are 23 pair of chromosomes in gametes, whereas the unpaired condition of chromosomes is called as haploid. For example, chromosomes of blood cells are unpaired, so they are haploid. Question number 10 is, describe the structure of chromosomes. The answer is, chromosomes are thread-like structure usually present in the nucleus. They contain hereditary information. Most chromosomes consist of two arms extend out from a specialized region of DNA called centromere. Centromere or primary contradiction gives a particular shape to chromosomes due to its positions. The terminal regions of chromosomes on either side are called telomeres. Before cell division, it duplicates its chromosomes. The two copies of chromosomes remain attached at their centromeres. As long as two copies of chromosomes attached, They are called sister chromatids. During cell division, the two sister chromatids separate and each chromatid becomes an independent daughter chromosomes. Question number 11 is, describe structure and functions of plasma membrane. The answer is, plasma membrane is a living, thin, elastic and selectively permeable membrane. Analysis has shown that the membrane is made up of 75% phospholipids and in addition contains polysaccharides, proteins and cholesterols. To explain the ultrastructure of plasma membrane, Singer and Nicholson suggested a model called fluid mosaic model. According to them, plasma membrane is made up of two molecule thick layer of phospholipids. These proteins are intrinsic protein and extrinsic protein. Intrinsic protein covers lipid bilayer and extrinsic protein occur either on the outer side or on the inner side. It is described as number of icebergs floating in the sea of lipids. So, this is the diagram of the fluid mosaic model described or explained by Singer and Nicholson about the structure of the plasma membrane. Now, the functions of the plasma membrane are protecting the integrity of the interior cell, providing support and maintaining the shape of the cell, helps in regulating cell growth through the balance of endocytosis and exocytosis. The cell membrane also plays an important role in cell signaling and communication. And the last one is, it acts as a selectively permeable membrane by allowing the entry of only selected substances to the cell. So these are some of the functions of the plasma membrane. You can write from here. Question number 12 is, what do you mean by passive and active transport? Write a note on diffusion. So the first one is active transport. Active transport is the movement of dissolved molecules into or out of a cell through the cell membrane from a region of lower concentration to a region of higher concentration. Next is passive transport. It is the passive movement of molecules along the concentration gradient. It is the selective process as the membrane allows only selective things to pass through. So this is the passive transport and this is the active transport. Next, we have to write a note on diffusion. Diffusion is a process where molecules of a material move from an area of higher concentration to an area of low concentration until uniform concentration is finally achieved. It can occur in any medium. Example of diffusion is spreading of copper sulfate in water. Diffusion happens in cells also. For example, in animal cells, concentration of CO2 inside the cell is higher. So, CO2 moves outside the cell and the concentration of oxygen is higher outside the cell. So, oxygen moves inside the cell. So, this is the note on diffusion. Question number 13th is, describe the mechanism of osmosis. Give its importance. So osmosis is the movement of water from a region of high concentration to the region of low concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. It occurs only in liquid medium. During osmosis, one of the three things could happen. First will be a hypertonic solution, second will be a isotonic solution, and third will be a hypotonic solution. So the first one is hypertonic solution. So let's see what is hypertonic solution. The solution in which the concentration of solute is higher, so water will come out of the cell. This is the hypertonic solution. Next is isotonic solution. The solution in which the concentration of solute and solvent is same, so water will move around the cell. This is an isotonic solution. And the last one is hypotonic solution. The solution in which the concentration of solute is low, so water will move into the cell, and this one is hypotonic solution. 14th number is write a note on plasmolysis. So plasmolysis is the shrinking of protoplasm away from the cell wall of a plant or bacterial cell. It happens when a cell is placed in a hypotonic solution. An example of plasmolysis is if red blood cells are placed in a strong salt solution. Next is question number 15. What is endoplasmic reticulum? Give its type and functions. The endoplasmic reticulum is a tubular network of membranes found within the cytoplasm of the eukaryotic cells. At one end, it is connected to outer membrane of nucleus and on the other end to the plasma membrane. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. First is rough endoplasmic reticulum and second is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So, in rough endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes are attached on its surface, which helps in synthesis of proteins. So, this is a rough endoplasmic reticulum. And next one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. In smooth endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes are absent and is meant for secreting lipids in the cell. The functions of the endoplasmic reticulum are: it helps in synthesis of proteins and lipids, it provides supporting skeleton framework for cell, it provides pathway for distribution of nuclear material from one cell to another. Number 16th is describe structure and functions of Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is an organelle of eukaryotic cells that stores and modifies proteins and transport to the other parts of the cell. It consists of membrane-bonded, fluid-filled vesicles, vacuoles and fluid-filled sac called cistern. These cisterns are stacked parallel to each other. It looks similar in plants and animal cells, but in plant cell it is known as dictosomes. It is not found in bacteria, blue-green algae, sperms and red blood cells of animals. The functions of Golgi apparatus are: it involves in the synthesis of cell wall, plasma membrane and lysosomes. It packages materials, synthesize in cells and transport it to other parts of cell. And the last one is it transport various substances like mucus, pancreatic enzymes and pigments. 17th number is what are lysosomes? How are they formed? Give their functions. Lysosomes are simple, tiny structure present in the cytoplasm. It is surrounded by single membrane and contains useful enzymes for cell. These enzymes are capable of digesting and dispose waste material within the cell. So, lysosomes are called suicidal bags because when cell gets damaged, lysosomes gets burst and digest its own cell. Lysosomes sometimes called as garbage disposal system of the cell because it removes the worn out and poorly working cellular organelles by digesting them for their new replacement. And the third one is lysosomes are called as digestive bags because they destroy foreign materials like bacteria and viruses. In this way, they protect the cell from infections. Now, the question number 18th is describe structure and functions of mitochondria. Mitochondria are tiny bodies of varying shape and sizes present in cytoplasm. It is bonded by double membrane. It is known as the powerhouse of cell because they are involved in release of energy from food inside the cell with the help of cellular respiration. The inner membrane is thrown into folds. These folds are called cristae and are studded with small rounded bodies known as F1 particles. The interior cavity of mitochondria is filled with matrix which contains small sized ribosomes. The functions of mitochondria are: it is known as the powerhouse of the cell because they are involved in release of energy from food inside the cell with the help of cellular respiration. Second is mitochondria are able to make their own protein. And the last question is, with the help of labeled diagram, describe the structure of chloroplast. So chloroplasts are present in green parts of plants and green algae. They have green pigment called chlorophyll and are involved in photosynthesis for food. So they are known as the kitchens of the cell. Chloroplasts show two distinct regions. First is grana. Grana are stacks of membrane-bounded flattened disc-shaped containing molecules of chlorophyll. They are main functional regions of chloroplast. And the second one is stroma. The stroma is the fluid-filled space that surrounds the grana. It contains photosynthetic enzymes, DNA and ribosomes. So this is the diagram of the chloroplast. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.